Okay, so ever since Luffy asked Loki to join the Straw Hats, the One Piece community has been completely divided. Some people think it's impossible. Other people think it's basically confirmed, and honestly, after looking at all the evidence, I think Loki has a better chance of joining than most fans want to admit. The biggest reason is simple. Oda doesn't have Luffy invite random people. Think about it. When Luffy asks someone to join his crew, it usually means something. Zoro, Sanji, Brook, Jinbei, these invitations aren't throwaway jokes. Oda knows fans analyze every panel, so when Luffy looked at Loki and offered him a spot on the crew, that immediately made him one of the strongest Straw Hat candidates we've ever seen. And let's talk about Loki himself. For years, fans thought he was going to be some evil giant prince. Instead, Oda flipped the script. Suddenly, Loki isn't just a villain. He's a tragic character. He's misunderstood. He's chained up. He's isolated from his own people. Sound familiar? Because that's basically the Straw Hat recruitment formula. Robin was hated. Chopper was treated like a monster. Frankie was an outcast. Brook was alone for decades. Jinbei was caught between worlds. Now Loki is another character who doesn't really belong anywhere. And One Piece has always been a story about people finding a family when the world rejects them. But here's where things get interesting. The people who think Loki won't join actually have some really strong arguments. First, the size problem. The Thousand Sunny is not built for a giant prince. Fans have been joking for months that Loki would literally need to sit on top of the ship because he can't fit inside it. Even characters in the story have questioned how that would work. And honestly, that's a fair point. But One Piece has solved crazier problems before. This is the same series where ships fly through the sky, skeletons come back to life, and a reindeer became a doctor. If Oda wants Loki on the crew, he'll find a solution. Fans have already come up with dozens of theories involving ship upgrades, devil fruits, or giant-size modifications. The second argument is even bigger. Power scaling. A lot of fans believe Loki is simply too strong. If Loki joins, does he instantly become stronger than Zoro? Stronger than Sanji? Does he destroy the monster trio dynamic that's existed for decades? That's a genuine concern. Many readers think Oda has carefully protected the hierarchy of Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji, and adding someone as powerful as Loki could completely change the crew structure. But here's the thing, we're in the final saga. The story is ending. This isn't the East Blue anymore. We're heading toward battles against the strongest forces in the world. Maybe the Straw Hats actually need another monster-level fighter. Maybe Oda isn't worried about preserving the old structure because we're entering the endgame. Now let's talk about the biggest reason I think Loki has a chance. Symbolism. Luffy represents freedom, and Loki's entire story is about freedom. A prince trapped in chains. A man judged before people knew the truth. Someone trying to escape a destiny forced onto him. That sounds exactly like the kind of person Luffy loves helping. The Straw Hats aren't just strong fighters. They're people whose lives changed because Luffy believed in them. And right now, Loki fits that pattern almost perfectly. Now, do I think it's guaranteed? No. Not even close. There is another possibility that honestly feels just as likely. Loki could become an ally instead of a Straw Hat. A lot of fans believe he'll stay connected to Elbaf, help lead the Giants, or become one of Luffy's greatest allies in the final war, rather than living permanently on the Sunny. Community discussions often lean toward this outcome because it solves the ship size problem while still keeping Loki involved in the story. So where do I stand? I think Oda intentionally made Loki a candidate. I think the invitation was meant to start this exact debate. And if I had to put a percentage on it right now, I'd say 45% chance Loki joins the Straw Hats, 50% chance Loki becomes a major ally and giant leader, 5% chance Oda completely surprises everyone with something nobody saw coming. Because if there's one thing we've learned after 1,000 plus chapters of One Piece, it's that predicting Oda is basically impossible. And that's exactly why the Loki debate is so much fun. Every chapter gives us new clues, but nobody truly knows what Oda has planned until he decides to reveal it.